Like, let's step back. I remember the first time I met you was kind of like through osmosis. I was like in the middle of creating lamps and just kind of like playing around with that business model. And you were the owner of a cigar shop. So this is kind of step back. Like, how did you even get into that space, into that market sector?
So it was through my relationship,
Hmm.
about 8 years ago, my ex and I had met, and he was like, "Hey, join me for a cigar over at Highland Cigar Bar." The elder statesman of the cigar community, right? Like it's
Hmm.
one of the first cigar lounges, in the city of Atlanta.
Hmm.
Um, and I went in there, and it was an environment that I just wasn't used to. And I have been in nightlife for a very long time, right? Like we did the bars, I've done bartending competitions, I've worked with Remy Martin, I've thrown parties, brought DMX to UGA,
Hmm.
worked on a couple different fun things like throughout my lifetime up until eight years ago until I met him. And he was like, join me for a cigar.
Hmm.
So I go in there, and it's evident, like it's a man cave. I go into this man cave, and in are some of Atlanta's notable, maybe powerful, just like community men. Like these men in Atlanta, like a couple of lawyers that we know, a couple of politicians that we know. Everybody's in there smoking a cigar. I'd never smoked a cigar before in my life. I just, I thought it was maybe okay, like it was cool, but I'd never smoked a cigar before in my life. And it was a thing that he loved. And so, but I enjoyed the atmosphere to my very core. Everybody, I love the atmosphere. I love the people that I met at Highland Cigar. I love that whole culture, the cigar culture. I actually understood there's an actual cigar culture. And I just always enjoyed it. Fast forward to a few years later, we had an opportunity to build a business. And when it came to making a decision as to what we would have liked to done,
Hmm.
what we would like to do, we were like, we should open up a cigar lounge. We found a venue on Peter Street. Our business partner had Off the Hook Barbershop, and that's on the top of Peter Street, right? So he had a relationship with the owner of the building towards the end of Peter Street. And we were like, let's open up a cigar shop. Let's put in a bar. Let's do craft cocktails. Let's do some dope stuff. So the partnership initially was amongst these two men.
Hmm.
You watch these 52 and 53-year-old men, 50-something-year-old men, map out these ideas. We should call it Habano heaven. We should, we should do this with the furniture. We should do this. We should build a bar this size. And I slowly started dropping in my 2 cents here and there. You should make it a safe space, right? Like you need to make it a safe space for women to kind of come into. And because that's what we all kind of enjoyed with each other, like throughout the 4 or 5 years that we'd been together at that point, as we built relationships, we really truly saw what he brought to the table with his relationships, and then the energy and a different cross section of people that we brought to the table together. I'd never seen that sort of accomplished either. So we were like, we can sort of put together a lounge, and it can be something different, and we can kind of make an impact the way we want to do it. And that's how we got into, becoming a cigar lounge owners. They sat me down and they're like, we would like for you to be an operating partner.
Nice.
And I became an operating partner of Habano Cigar Lounge, and that's where I got started, like officially, as an entrepreneur.